If you're joining live or if you're joining us on the recording, this is a combination of the Power Crew, Team Play Hard, and Holly Harmon's Team Fit Finance. And we love the collab. And if you were on last week's call with Holly, or if you missed it, she posted the recording on all three of our team pages, which is one big happy family. Last week's call was eye-opening to me because it brought back a lot of statistics, and it was really one of those things where I was like, what we do is definitely so involved. Like, there's so many layers to what we do, and there's so many different approaches to this business. And our final goal is to make a sale. Let's be honest. Our final goal, sell a challenge pack. Let's be honest. And it's one of those things that 7 years ago, I can't even believe it's been almost that long. When I signed up to be a coach, I never wanted to sell. I never wanted anybody to feel like I was icky. I never wanted to push away friends and family. I still, to this day, have not. I have actually a very perfect example is Gil and Janine Poor. And I'm just using their names off the top of my head. The best of friends, the best of family friends, and I've never once sold them anything. They're not coaches, which people are shocked about, because it's just that I'm not that type of person. Another my maid of honor is not a coach. Just letting you guys know this, I never wanted people to feel obligated to join my business model. And that was one of the things that I was always so scared about. I was afraid, deathly afraid, that people thought when I joined Beachbody that I was going to be selling them something. So I had to shift the focus, and I had to shift the focus early on. And all I knew from all the trainings I've ever done and all the vital behaviors, that the very first vital behavior is invite, invite, invite. And it's so crazy that I can tell you all that I have never once sent a copy paste, hey girl, message. It's just not what I do. And I'm like, well, how have I been able to do what I do? How is this happening? And how each month have I been consistently able to hit Success Club? And how can I, because that's my main goal right here, and in what I'm trying to do as a leader, help you guys duplicate the process. And I want you to be able to duplicate it in a way that you feel really good about what you're putting out there. So you feel authentically real. And I think that from the very beginning, the authenticity and the realness has been so true for me. So people don't feel like they're being sold to. One of the most common messages I get before somebody joins my team, or before somebody comes on with me with a challenge pack into one of my groups as a challenge group, they say, they message me, I've been following you for a while. I'm interested in that. And I can't tell you, so it's that left a clue, because that wasn't one time that something happened. That wasn't two times. I get that message all the time. I've been following you for a while. So that tells me something. So I've created content and value that's been able to build a relationship and engagement level with people, that they feel comfortable enough when they're ready to reach out. So let's go back. I think that we realized that I never want to be a salesperson. So what am I actually doing? I think one thing it goes back to is my very first book that I really ever read in this whole business, and my team knows it, but maybe we need to go back to it. It's Gary Vaynerchuk's Jab, 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 Hook. I think that give, and then ask might be a better way. So in my theory of posting, I want to be able to give value. And then everybody's like, well, what the hell does that mean? Give value. Everybody knows right now that I'm talking about low carb, high fat, keto. But I'm not selling low carb, high fat, and keto. I'm sharing it in a way so people are becoming educated on it. And maybe my fitness journey, I'm sharing it in a way so people see that a busy mom is able to find time for her workouts and find time for her business. And maybe for the business opportunity, I'm sharing it in a way that you're seeing that this Beachbody coaching business has led me to all these other opportunities. So those are the things that I feel like I'm giving value that is actually helping somebody realize that there's more to CAM than Beachbody. And I think that might be something that you want to take away from. So like how can you help somebody with their day to day, or how can you get somebody to realize that you're not just a beach buddy coach, because that's kind of like what the goal is. You want to like figure out all those other things that you can kind of piece together to help people with. I think one of the trainings that I recently did said in you like 7 to 10 Instagram stories is a really good way for people to get to know you. And I love the filters, and I think the pretty pictures are really cool. But I think the more that you can just like take the filter off and just talk to the camera and be you, but try not to like monologue way too long. So I know that if you do like 4 or 5, like just speaking because you want to tell a story, that's probably people are going to start to like swipe over. So like at least like 3 of those, so just people know like really what's going on in your day. But when you're talking into the camera, this is something I do. I kind of picture myself on the other end. So like, I don't want to be talking to everybody. Like really, truly, I look into the camera when I'm talking to Instagram stories, and I'm like looking at a fitness freak, fitness instructor, young mom, struggling, trying to find balance in her life. And she probably has a professional job, but really wants to do fitness full time. Like I think like that when I'm talking, because I'm like really trying to focus in on my niche. And I know like that's pretty much me. But that's might not be who you are. So try to, when you're talking, like really, really focus on, you know, who you're looking out to and who is your niche market. Provide a service to them, and make sure that you go to your page and look at your page. Is your page all selfies? Is it all sweaty selfies? Is it all just like, I finished my workout today? Make sure that you're changing it up. And thank you, Jen Schultz, for being on here right now. She shared something with my team last week that was really eye-opening for all of us. She's in a training by Josh Coates. And number one, I love that you took the initiative, that then you just did that. And then she shared some value with us on our team page. And Jen was able to go to her Instagram page and self-reflect and self-analyze. And that's something that I try to do as well. But it was just a really worthy share. So Josh asked them, you know, what are you putting on your page? Are you sharing the business opportunity if you have a business opportunity, or are you just sharing workout selfies and whatever? And Jen might be able to help us later, like once we close the call, she can like fill in the gaps. But if you look, and none of your posts mention that you have a business opportunity to provide somebody, or that your life has a little bit of freedom and flexibility, or that you have some extra money, if none of your posts are saying that, then you need to self-evaluate, do a little reflection, and make some tweaks and make some changes. Like the same things over and over isn't going to happen unless you make some changes. So her goal was like, you know, at least 2 a week. And I think that's really great to make sure that you're presenting the business opportunity in a way that's like just sharing your life so that people know what you do. Some other things that you want to do is like provide yourself like some credibility. Like I know Danielle Natoni, who is somebody like Ellen and I kind of like, we're kind of like intrigued by her, very much so, because she's very successful in the business. And she told us, or on a team call once, when she started out and when she became Facebook famous, like building her community, she took a page out of Health Magazine, Muscle and Fitness Magazine, whatever like magazine she could get her hands on, and she pretty much like copyrighted it and made it a post for that day. And then she did it again. But she shared it in a way where it was authentic to Danielle, revolved around her story, but basically it was providing value to somebody else. So whether it was how to make kale chips, I'm just making up something, or like how to do this like booty burner workout, which was probably just out of Muscle and Fitness Magazine, but she acted like it was hers. She's told people that, I'm not going to lie. But I'm just saying, one of the things that maybe you forget is that she's also the queen of consistency. So she wasn't like, I'm going to try something and provide value for a few days. She probably did that for like a few years, and she's still doing that. She's still providing value. And she's somebody too that has tweaked, changed, self-evaluated, and seen what's worked for her and kind of made her own system. So if you take anything away from that, tutorials, tips, how can you help somebody? Like how much more value can you put out there for other people? And then at the end, just like I wrote some things down. like these are like things that I write at the end of my post because this was in my notes. Like in the notes, when I say notes, on my phone, I have a note section. If you love this, if you love what you're seeing, or if you love this post, would you like to join me? Or if this is something that interests you, would you like to be a part of what I do? If you think this looks fun, message me for more info, things like that. But it doesn't come after every post. That comes like after a few, because you help, give, give is my favorite word. Give to people, give to people, and then ask. And that was Gary Vaynerchuk's whole jab, jab, jab hook. One of the things that like I think that is sticking out to me too is I think the use of hashtags on Instagram. I'm kind of jumping around, but this is how I invite with people. I'll kind of look at a popular hashtag, maybe like fitness instructor, and then I will go to their page. And if they are not selling, whatever, like if they're not in multi-level marketing, pretty much, if their page is not filled with Roden and Fields or Beachbody or whatever, I kind of just check them out, and I kind of think, is this the type of person that I think would come to my class? Is this the type of person that I think I could like hang out with? And if the answer is yes, and it's like a judgmental thing, I'm just sharing what I do. It's super judgmental, but as I look at their page, if I think that the answer is yes, I follow them. But then I like 3 and comment on 3. So Shalene always said like 3 and comment on 1. But I thought the comment on 1 wasn't getting me any sort of conversion, but I'll comment on 3 posts just to like kind of raise awareness. Like it's almost more like, I want you to see me because I like what you're doing. So it's kind of one of those things where that's just me building a relationship with somebody because I know that we have something in common. So then I see if they follow me back. And if they do, they do. It's just somebody that I'm watching. It's just somebody that I'm interested in to build the relationship. If somebody keeps on liking your post or watching your story, actually, you can see who watches your story. So go to the people who watch your story. And if it's not a Beachbody coach, you can look. And if it's not a Beachbody coach, follow them back if you think that there's somebody that you can connect with. And then like, it's almost like, I hate to say it like this, but it's like flirting with them, like 3 of their pictures and comment on 3. And I'm not like, hey girl, I like your shirt. I'm like, those shorts are the bomb. Where'd you get them? Like I would, or something. Like it's more like who I am. It's not like, so I would truly say something to that person on their thread as I would say to their face. And I think that that's just a way, and I almost always get a replied comment, and that's just a way to build the conversation. And then we start dating. So I'm dating a zillion people right now. It's crazy, but that's life. Like that is my life as a Beachbody coach, is finding girls, chicks, and women that are into fitness as much as me, truly have as much like just like kind of enjoying life like I do. And we just have conversations back and forth. And when the time is right, then I can shift the conversation. So I notice you're doing these workouts. Do you like to just work out in the gym? Have you ever worked out at home? And then, but it's like so super authentic, meaning like, it's not like, hey, I have a challenge group starting, or do you want to do Lift 4 with me? I usually ask people if they've ever done home workouts, if I see them working out in the gym, or I'll ask them, hey, like, it looks like you like fitness, like, I'll say something like your arms are super toned or something. And what kind of workouts do you do? I just am feeling them out. That's all. Because they're going to respond with, I take a class at the gym. I hate Beachbody. I usually get that. Sometimes I get that. Like they know, So those are kind of like my 3 things. In your stories too, I think it's really important. I'm like jumping around, but I took some notes before I hopped on, like stuff I wanted to cover. To create engagement, because I'm helping you invite without inviting. Asking questions is a really good way. So use the ask the question feature, but don't ask about like Beachbody stuff. So maybe like ask about food or clothes, or ask about like where should you go out to dinner if you're like traveling to a new city, like ask a question that kind of is outside the industry maybe, and to see who is actually, because not all your followers are going to ask you a question or answer your question. So it kind of lets you see the people that are actually interested and then see which ones are not Beachbody coaches. Like that's a process. Like, but that's what I do as work is go to these people's pages. And if you're not a Beachbody coach, I kind of write your name down because you're now on my list. And then I just wanted to make sure that, you know, in closing, the consistency over time is the big key. You can't do something just 1 or 2 days a week. So you really have to do that. And I think what's been a bigger key for me is the self-evaluation. I think if I looked back on my page 5 years ago, it would be like post-workout selfie, post-workout selfie, post-workout selfie, post-workout selfie all the time, because that's what I knew. And I was a successful Beachbody coach back then. But at that time, that was okay. But the times have changed, so I had to change. So now I have to provide more value and give a little bit more and change it up a little bit more and not do all the post-workout selfies and have to like change the stance. And, you know, not every one of my pictures can be in that orange workout room. I know that because that's not a good feed for me, but it used to be like that. It used to be like that. So if anything, I want you to go to your pages tonight, self-reflect, self-evaluate, and like be your own critique, because I think that you can do it best. Like, when's the last time that you were totally authentic and just shared how much you love this new business opportunity, or that you shared what it could do for your family, what it could do for you, without saying like, join my team? It doesn't have to be like that. The top coaches call it breadcrumbs. I think that word is so stupid. I hate bread, and I've been eating it for 2 days now because my stomach hurts. But like, breadcrumbing only means talking about something to lead them to something else. So you want to talk about the business opportunity to make sure that people at least are aware and know that you do a business, that you're involved in a business. So then down the road, when you post about the business again, they're going to say, she does that business again. Okay. So she doesn't just work out, she's in a business. So then down the road, when you have a sneak peek call or you have something to invite them to, they're like, I've been following and she's been talking about this business and now she's having a call for it. Like, I should probably just join it. That's kind of all I have for you tonight. I hope it was valuable. It's not mind-blowing. It's nothing new, but it's what I do. Like, that's what I do as a coach. So that to me is my inviting process. It's really messaging, providing content, and going to somebody else's page and really engaging with them and building a relationship. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know what, Jake? I like that you said that. I am definitely a foundational type of girl. I'm like, you cannot go on to like the next level stuff until you build your house with strong bricks. For sure. Ellen, please help. And like, you know, for the last, like, how do you invite, or like, what are you thinking?
It's funny. I guess we've sort of had these conversations with each other periodically over the years, Cam, you and I, but and we're so different, as you guys know, right? Abs and no abs, healthy and healthy-ish, no bread and lots of bread. I'm very similar, you guys. This business is not fun for me if I feel like I'm chasing Success Club points. And it's really rewarding and easy if people will come to me and ask. And I think that is truly the goal. And I think that I would say the biggest reason people aren't successful in this business is because they fatigue in their endurance and consistency too soon, because it literally takes years. And Cam mentioned, I think the last time she did one of our calls, I think she mentioned that she wasn't on Facebook or basically wasn't on Facebook when she started, and neither was I. And I, didn't know anything about Instagram or anything like that. And I don't have that. It's all relative, right? Everything is relative. Our levels of success and how influential we are on social media. Like, maybe you think I'm more influential on social media than you are. Maybe I think someone else is more influential. It's very relative. There's a huge continuum. But the fact of the matter is, we all have people watching us, whether we have a small amount of people or a large amount of people, and we can all work slowly over time in growing that in a way that feels good and is authentic. And so I think in terms of like when Cam was talking, I'm so of one accord with her mindset on this. And I was thinking about the joyfulness of coaching, and because sometimes it hasn't always been, and it's not always. And when it's been not very joyful for me is when I was trying to slightly be someone that I'm not. Hi, honey. My son is home. Come say hi to my team call. And it's also not joyful when it feels like I'm trying to get people to do things that they might not want to do or be ready to do. That's not fun at all for me. It actually makes my stomach hurt. Speaking of tummy aches. Here, come say hi to my team call. No, come say hi. Right now. Hurry up. Come on. You guys have to meet my son.
I want to see his tat.
Oh, well, he'd have to take his pants off. Here, this is my son.
Oh, no, don't do that. We keep it clean here.
Hello.
What's up? And that's our dog. Well, maybe you could show him your back. He has a back outline. He probably doesn't want to. All right. Anyway, go. You could? All right. Never mind. Goodbye. Thank you for meeting the team. That's my oldest son. He's about to be 21, so then he can buy me beer. Anyway, my point is that we say it every week. I think I tell you guys I've been a coach for 6 years, and it's only now that this sort of like attraction marketing is starting to happen more for me. Where, I mean, it's happening more and more the longer I do it and the more consistent I am. In other words, it's getting easier to get those messages rolling in. So I just hope to encourage you guys with this call that you can find a stride where you're just being you. I'm not saying it's simple, but where you're just being you. And again, like the times I've tried to be a little duplicitous, because I have wanted to be like the more fit person than I really am. And I have wanted to be better about my home workouts than I really am. But when I settled into just who I really am, it's just so much more fun. And I also like that Cam talked about, and that Jake said this is foundational, and that we sometimes, because it is foundational, and yet like I swear to you guys, I needed this tonight. I promise you, yes, it's foundational. Yes, I've heard a lot of this before about like reevaluating your social media, but I actually needed to hear it tonight because we just get stuck in a little rut. And I don't know. That's all I've got is in terms of inviting. That's exactly what I do is I build relationships. So one of you guys on Cam's team mentioned Brock Johnson's podcast the other week. And like, who said that? Was it Jackie? Anyway, it was one of the Power Crew talked about his podcast, and I loved his podcast. I don't feel like he's doing them right now, but listen, you guys, he said something about Instagram that changed my business. It really did. It went from being like a chore where like, oh, I need to like. Cam's seen me do that before. like. It went from being like a chore of like that where I kind of felt like I had to do it for a certain amount of time every day. He said it's like, it is honestly like it's like going to the same coffee shop every day, your favorite coffee shop, and hanging out with the same customers and staff and people there, and like having this like coffee shop hangout vibe with you kind of see the same people, kind of have conversations with the same people, you kind of get to know some of them really well, and you look forward to seeing them. And I'm telling you what, that coffee shop vibe for Instagram has completely made Instagram the most fun place. I swear to you, if I quit coaching right now, I would still want that coffee shop thing on Instagram, because it is a beautiful way. If you are a people person, which I hope you are, if you're in this business, it'll serve you well if you like people. It is a wonderful place for you people to actually like really give value and get to know people and receive value. They've got stuff to offer too that has nothing to do with business. And I have a little community on there that I get to see all the time, and I keep trying to grow it, and it just makes the business easier. That's all I wanted to say, but I'd love to hear some more from you guys actually on the topic.
Yeah, for sure. Jackie, I'm sure that you guys are getting ready for bedtime. So maybe even if you're not available tonight, we'll have you on another call. That Jackie's the one that did Brock's training. Jen, do you mind unmuting and like filling in the gaps with anything from Josh Coates, like for how he helped you to evaluate your business opportunities?
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
So he said that the number one thing he hears from people is, I can't get anybody to join my team. And he deals with all types of businesses, not just Beachbody coaches. And that's the number one thing that he hears from people across the board. And he'll go to their Facebook page, their Instagram page, and he'll just scroll down and he'll be like, well, of course you're not getting anybody to join your team. You're not sharing that you have an opportunity. Sorry, you guys. You're not sharing at all that you have an opportunity. So nobody knows that you have a team to join, that you have a business that they can join. Of course, you're not getting anybody to join your team. So part of my challenge every week is to post about the business twice a week. And like today, this morning, it was just a picture of my son, my 2-year-old, and it was just about how grateful I am that I have the ability to be home with him. It wasn't join my team, join my team, join my team, because how annoying is it that when you see people who do that? You don't want to be that person, join my team, join my team. It's just, as Cam mentioned, it's a breadcrumb. Just share that breadcrumb so that whenever you do have like our call next week, you have something to invite to. People will be like, oh yeah, she was talking about how she's home all the time with her kids. I want that too. And it's not something that's out of nowhere. So that when you invite them to it, they'll see that they want that life too. And then they'll be interested in actually joining the call next week.
Right.
So it is breadcrumbing throughout the month. And then whenever you have your call, your business opportunity call, they were watching what you're showing them. And it's something that they do actually want to join because you were breadcrumbing it. But if you don't show them that, they'll be like, no, I don't want to join your stupid MLM. No, I don't want to do that because it's a little bit, sketchy.
Right. And I think for you, I've been watching your social media and it's changed so much over the last month. I think it's great because you are definitely like changing it up. Like you definitely like hit like a little like reset button and now you're doing some new stuff. And I think it's great. I think it's awesome.
I was the post-workout selfie every day and I don't do that anymore. I don't. It's that goes to my stories now.
Yeah, that's great.
But not in my feed.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. It's so valuable.
Sure.
It like hit me last weekend now.
Of course.
Anybody else have anything to share or comments, questions? It's just Ellen and I are super cash.
Jen, I really appreciated that. That was great. I think I love that. And I love that like we didn't even have stories like a year ago. And it has changed the landscape of how we should do our Instagram. I have a question for you guys. Do you feel like, are you self-conscious about posting about the business and the business opportunity? Like, do you feel like, oh, people aren't going to like me and all that stuff? Is that a little bit of a struggle? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Jackie, thank you for saying that because my team is like 99% yes.
Yeah, no, totally. I get it. There's something that helped me with that. Couple things that maybe you've heard before, but I hope that you haven't so that it's value. One thing that I think is that there is no shame. There is no shame in trying to earn money, earn a living. Like there is no shame in caring about income. And there is no shame in representing health and fitness. Like I really don't know what is more noble because health and fitness can literally save lives. It can increase, everything, longevity, like, you know the list. It changes the quality of people's lives. There's zero shame in that. So there's no shame in making money. There is no shame in representing something that can save someone's life. And I remember feeling self-conscious about posting on social. And then I heard someone say this. This is like 3 years ago, circa 3 years ago. Someone was like, I'd be embarrassed. Like it was like someone like us. I'd be embarrassed if I spent as much time as I did on social media and wasn't trying to earn money. Like I'd be embarrassed if I just like was on, but we are on social media off and on all day long. And it would be like much it would be much if we were this consumed with it and we just had nothing better to do, but we're trying to make a living. And it's where advertisers, all businesses are there. All businesses are on Instagram and Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg still has the corner of the market for business. And so why wouldn't we be there? There's no shame in it. And maybe some people are going to think you're annoying and block you, whatever. I doubt it. If so, bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. But most likely, even if they're really very not interested in what you do, they're still going to have mad respect for it. So I honestly think that there's a lot of people that follow me that have no interest, but they have mad respect for my hustle, my consistency, the fact that it's fitness, and they probably wish they were more interested in what I did. They're just not. They're not motivated.
I think that's perfect. That was once told to me as well. Like, everybody makes money doing something, and ours is just different. So I get to play on social media all day. Hi, buddy. Ellen's son came and said hi. Do you want to come say hi? Come on. You have to be fast.
Hi, Kendall. Hi.
Hi, Kendall. I get to play on social media all day, huh? Mama's phone. We do Instagram stories together, don't we? Okay, I got it. She gets it.
Jake, do you have any thoughts?
No, I think you guys are right on. I've kind of gone through all the different approaches that we've discussed, and the only thing I'm comfortable with is what you both, talked about, which is just making connections, being authentic, making it fun, most importantly. Like, Ellen, what you said about the only time you're not having fun is when you're chasing SC points. That really resonated with me. So anyways, yeah, nothing really to add, but just wanted to, reiterate what you said, and that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Chasing the carrots is what I like to say. Beachbody's really good at getting us to chase a carrot, but that's not the thing that's going to end in the long run. I do Ellen, can you address Jackie's comment?
Yeah, wait, I haven't looked at it. I have one more thing to say, and I'm sorry I'm talking too much. It's not my night. It's Cam's night. I have one more thing to say, though. I want you guys to know that, this is not what Beachbody would have us say to you. Me saying, there's no joy in chasing SC point, that is not what, Carl would like me to teach my team. We're being honest. This is what works and feels good, and we want it to feel good for you guys. Look who's calling me.
That's hysterical.
I'm not getting it. You guys are more important than Joel. Shh. Yeah, so that's all. I will address the question, but I wanted to say, that's how honest we're being with you guys. This isn't what we're supposed to say to you guys. We're actually supposed to say, chase SC points. It's so fun. Okay, hang on.
I'll let you. So Jackie's comment is actually something that I get a lot. So she feels fake just because doesn't think that she's making an income with Beachbody yet, because right now it's her side money. So how does she post about the business opportunity when her perception of herself, because that's you, Jackie.
Mm-hmm. Because is it, okay, let me, wait, hold on. So is does she mean, hold on, let me read it. Okay. It's a really good point. And first of all, I want to validate you, because when I started to feel for me, and again, this is also relative, what we perceive or what we feel like is meaningful, an impactful, significant income, that might be an extra $100 a month for some of you. And it might be $2,000 a month for others of you. So that's very, it's obviously very different and individual. But when I started to feel like I could say genuinely that this had financially helped my family, that did change the game for me, feeling confident and comfortable inviting more people, because I felt like I had this other solution. So if you're not feeling that yet, I just want to honor that it is harder for you. It is harder when you're not feeling that yet. because you shouldn't, because then you don't have that authentic testimony. So I think that the magic at that because we're all there at some point, and also it can fluctuate, so you can be there and then have it like, it can ebb and flow a little bit. But I think that just finding the true parts of why this aligning yourself with this company has enriched your life. Even if that is not financial, then it's not financial. It's just not, then you don't add that piece. Or if it's maybe a little bit financial, like maybe you got groceries because of because of your, then I would speak to that little win. And also, like, something else I did is, honestly, you guys, my upline, Kelly Amos, when I signed on and desperately needed money, she legitimately was making $2,000 a week and told me. And she's one of the most honest people I've ever, she's just flat, like, she hated telling me that. Like, she's just flat out honest person. And like, so for a long time, Jackie and all of you guys, I used her story. I was like, my good friend who I signed up under is making $2,000 a week at this. And I just leaned on her for a long time. Similarly, like when we do business presentations, if you guys aren't yet ready to like belt out the business to everyone in the world, you can lean on your upline. So I did that. I did a lot of using her story. It was the truth, and it wasn't my story yet. And then Katie, where did I see? Yeah, Katie, do you want to elaborate on that?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I think I am a very different coach than a lot of other people, where I'm kind of like quiet, and like I like to do the behind the scenes things, and everyone is so different. But I remember when I signed up, you were so clear that like I don't have to be like you or like anyone else. I can be, do as much or little as I want. And so I guess it could go both ways, where of course I would want like a builder on my team and someone who is like, super gung-ho and loud and out there, but that's not how I am. So I don't know, like I'm not confident in attracting those types of people. Or someone could want to do less than, I don't know. It's just everyone's so different.
Yeah, I love that. Katie's business and the way she operates is like completely different than mine. And I love it. Like, I actually really want her to do a team call. She knows I do. I'd like mention it on the regular, because she does things so different. Like, I need her to do a team call so I can learn some new shiz. But like her newsletter and stuff she does, so cool.
Yeah, that's so valid. And then one of the coaches on my team, Brittany, mentioned that she, talks about all the other valuable things that Beachbody's brought into her life, which might not right now be money, but like you mentioned, Ellen, but there's so much. Love, love, love. I think that we should end with letting you guys know that next week we are all three available at this time, Wednesday night at 9:00. So we are having the business opportunity call for the end of the month. And we have vowed to each other to keep it to about 15 minutes total. We're actually just testing this out. That was our first one last month, and we kind of got some feedback. We appreciated all the feedback that we received. And now we're going to tweak it, and we're going to do another one. And you have an opportunity to invite the same people, different people, more people, but bring them on. It's the same Zoom line. It's very casual, like we all are. We'll be as real as we are tonight. And Holly, Ellen, and myself are going to do our best to help your people realize that this is the place that they should be. So next week, Wednesday, it's 9 EST, and it's 6 over there, PST.
You should know that.
I should. I actually have it on my watch. I know. All right, guys. Invite that in a way that's meaningful for you. That does not mean, hey, bro, hey, girl.
Yeah. When coaches ask you, like, can you have they have your scripts? Like, are you like, I don't have any.
I know.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, really. Thank you so much for being here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.